like swimming, bro. Hey guys, welcome back. Now, if you've read the title of the video today, you know what we're talking about. I know that many of you struggle concentrating when the work is hard. When it comes to doing things like playing video games, it's so easy. And I know that because it's the same for me too. When I was back in school, I used to play hours and hours of video games every single day, while my grades were just going down all the time. At some point, it got me questioning why it was so easy for me to spend 5, 6, 10 hours playing video games, but it was so difficult for me to spend just an hour revising. And then I started wondering what it was that made video games so easy to play, and whether or not I could actually apply that to my life. I took a list of all of the games that I played and why I liked each and every one of them. And there was one common factor between all of them, which was progression. And when I studied it more deeply, what it really was it was a clear set of goals that every time you achieved one, you earned something. And what I mean by that is having clear sets of goals like gathering materials to make a new item or whatever it may be. In practice, this is sort of the thing of, you get new materials to make a new weapon, to do some more damage, things like that. And having that proven against the boss of the level means that it was all worthwhile. It's a very strong reward cycle. The idea that you can do a piece of work, succeed because of that work, and then continue to do more of it, it's exactly the thing that we'd want to replicate in our day-to-day lives. So how do we go about doing that? Well, there's one simple consistency between all games, and that's a clear purpose, a single goal that we want to work towards to finish the game. What makes it even easier is that video games will give you a series of in-between quests to get you to that final point. In real life, this is the part where a lot of people give up, because they might have done a bit of work into their dream, but then don't know where to go from there. So in order to achieve our dreams, we need a set series of goals that we complete in order to progress. But if you want an easy way around this for your health, then go down to the description right now and download Spar AI from the App Store. It makes you a personalized plan, lays out your set goals, and all you have to do is hit the numbers. It's the absolute best all-in-one health and fitness app. It can track every single part of your workout, every single part of your diet, your calories, your macros, your water intake, anything you can think of, it probably does it. Even making things super easy for you with its one-click calorie tracking. All you have to do is take a picture and boom, it's all there in front of you. It comes with an integrated AI coach who you can ask any fitness-related question, and it can even tell you what meals you need to be eating in order to hit your goals. But we'll get back to that later. Most of us have dreams, be it something crazy like becoming a millionaire, or something slightly easier like just losing some weight. We may even have plans to get there, but it always seems that when we get to work on those plans, we fall behind quickly and then lose interest and give up. But why? Why is this such an issue for us? Well, we need to understand what goal setting is and how to do it properly, how to make it effective for us. And there's two main factors that are going to play into this. It's how rewarding the goal is and how easy the goal is to complete. If a goal is too simple, then we just won't appreciate the work needed to complete it. But on the other hand, if the work's too difficult, we aren't going to be able to complete it. It's not just that, the reward needs to match the work. You shouldn't get a large reward for putting in a small amount of work, and vice versa, you shouldn't get a small reward for putting in a large amount of work. But here's where most people make the wrong distinction. A reward needs to be actually rewarding in relevance to your goals. For example, if you're trying to lose weight, a cheat meal is not a reward, it's just a reinforcement of bad habits. Now, I'm not saying that things like that are bad for you, as long as they're done in moderation. But going back to our video games analogy, every time you complete a level, you unlock a new series of quests and challenges to complete, and that's the reward. Since we're aiming to replicate this cycle in real life, we need to know that once we finish a task, we move on to the next one, which is both more interesting and more rewarding. We need to always be doing more important and high rewarding tasks, but we also need to make sure we're doing more difficult tasks as we progress in the skill. It wouldn't make any sense for a bodybuilder to lift the same weights as when they started, and in the same way, it wouldn't make any sense for us to keep doing the same things we did when we started in that skill as well. Now, I want you to think about someone who you might be 10 years from now, someone completely different. And then I want you to imagine the very first step in getting there. For most people, the very first step is simply just starting. If you want to be a best-selling author, then you should start with the name of your character, or at least the name of the book. And this is our starting point, this is our spawn. But now we know what game we're playing, how do we fight to the first boss? Well, we're going to set incredibly small goals, ones that we are 100% certain that we can complete without any difficulty. And then we're going to prove to ourselves that we actually want this by doing them every day for a week. You'll probably feel pretty good once you started. And then you'll feel even better once you realize you're committed to it. But by the end of the week, you'll most likely start to feel a little bit disheartened with your progress. That's where we start increasing the amount of work done. And what you'll find is that over time, as long as you increase it slowly, your enjoyment will continue to increase over time. If your enjoyment does seem to decrease, or you can't find enjoyment in just doing the work, here's where we're going to add in the reward section. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard of Pavlov's dogs with its classical conditioning. That's what we're trying to create for ourselves. A sort of salivation where we work before having received the reward. Over time, this is going to create a strong synaptic link between doing the work that you want to do and feeling good about it. And this cycle will turn you into a productivity machine. But again, the secret is all in the reward. If we're rewarded for doing hard things, we'll naturally seek out harder and harder things to do. And as long as our reward increases with the difficulty, we'll want to do the most difficult thing possible at a given time. Very similar to how a bounty system works. We can go ahead and hunt down those rewards, doing all the work necessary, and finally get to where we want to do. We can hunt down those rewards, doing the things that we need to do to finally get to where we want to be. And speaking of hunting things down, head down to the description now and click the link to get to the Spark AI app. You won't even have to worry about doing any of these things that we talked about today because it already has the goals preset for you, ready to go. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. That would be amazing. See ya. Did I hit record?